Hi, welcome to Grieving with Joan. I'm glad to say it's Tuesday. The week is progressing, and today we're going to address stage 2 of grief, and that is denial. And that's a good subject because I want to admit to you the denial that I was in. Well, I wasn't in denial, I was just trying to hide it. I'm very self-conscious my face. In the previous 2 videos, I had it, and it was just absolutely annoying. Makeup it irritates my face. So I thought, you know what? We're going to talk about denial. And this is a good time to address the fact that I'm not facts. I wasn't born like this. This just a few years, and it was caused by a medication that I have to be on for the rest of my life. One of the side effects of this medication, my face. Well, not only my face, I've got it on my feet too. Excuse me for a minute. Okay. Didn't want the door open anymore. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hide the real me. And that was my denial. And so I just thought I'd be honest with you. And if you don't like what you said, this is the real me. There was no other alternative for the medication I was on. About it, I could go to a dermatologist and have bleaching procedure done. And I'm like, I'm 68 years old. Why would I go through all that? I'm me. I'm real. This is who I am. So be it. And yes, I'm stared at in stores, and somebody very loudly in a checkout counter in line just yelled out my name and said, "Oh my God, accident, what happened to you? Look at your face." Well, in the meantime, everybody standing in the checkout line is like Google-eyed at my face. And I was so humiliated. I just loudly explained to her that it's a side effect from a medication. And when you're given a new medication, I strongly advise you ask your doctor, what are the side effects of this new medication? And unfortunately, in my case, there is not an alternative medication, a cousin to the drug or a generic version that does not have this side effect. So I just wanted to explain that to you. This is what you're going to see. I am not going to put up with irritating my skin with a bunch of makeup for a short video and go through the process of trying to get all that paint off my face. So let's move on with this. Stage 2, denial. When we lose somebody very, very close to us, loss. It hurts. And I'm saying subconsciously. It hurts so bad that we let our defense mode kick in and our brain takes over. And that's very hard to deal with. We deny that intense pain and we pretend it was only a dream. Or maybe we try to convince ourselves that they or something or some kind of journey. And eventually they'll be back, and we try to manage that way. After my son died, I would think, I hate. And as a matter of fact, that was brought up by my therapist. He had asked me during one of the sessions, he said, Matthew. And I thought about it and I said, I just go about my life and I pretend he's on a vacation and eventually he'll be coming home. And my therapist looked at me and he said, oh, honey, it's just the opposite. He is home. You're the one that's on vacation. Eventually, you're going to leave this earth and you're going to go home to join him. And you know what? None of us are here forever. We know this. With birth comes death. Hopefully not for years and years, but we have no control of that. But it is that Matthew's journey here on earth was done. He did what God intended for him to do, and God called. Now he's up there overseeing me, waiting for my journey to be over, and then I'll go join him and my dad, and all the rest are probably playing cards or laughing and joking, having a beer together. But anyway, that's how I dealt with it and feel better. And after giving it a lot of thought, I like that thought. But as we all know with grief, no two people are the same. So it is much easier if your loved one doesn't live close to you and you don't see them much or don't talk to them a lot. Because then you can just pretend like different. You don't see them. They're like my sister lives 2,000 miles away. I don't see her. We talk maybe on the holidays. She's got her life, I got mine, and it's not regular. It's not on a regular basis. So in a situation like that, it would be very, very easy to pretend they're there. Back of your conscience. And you're able to go on. And that's how our mind protects, our sanity. I don't know, but we do go into defense mode, and that's one of the ways. And this mind game can go on for an unlimited time. At some point, you're going to realize Maybe the holidays are coming up and that's normally where you'd get in touch with this person. At some point, you're going to realize, oh, yeah, they're not there anymore. And it just kind of hits you all over again, but not as intense. And now it's a choice. You're choosing to just keep up with the game. Yeah, they're there. I'm here. We're good. So that's a mind. That's how we deal with it. Even if you went to the visitation and you actually saw them, it is very easy for us to say, her. And there you are talking yourself right into that little mind game. Of course, they don't look the same. They're deceased. They're not breathing. They're, the makeup artist in the funeral home, you know, whatever the case may be, they're not going to look exactly like they did if they were sleeping in bed. I mean, funeral homes do the best they can, but they're not perfect. And so it didn't look like them. Eventually, you will have this reality and it will re engage in your brain. And at that point, with your mind, might be a little easier for you to handle. God only gives you as much as you can handle. And when He chooses for you to come to your reality, you will come to your reality and you will deal with it. Today's life denials. And this is going to be so much fun because of our current event. Lots apply to denial in our present selves. Let's say we have an argument with a spouse. We spent money and didn't tell the spouse. We take the tags off of new clothing. We hang them in the closet. We hide them. And then I'm further down the line, we'll pull out that new blouse or that new whatever, pair of pants, skirt, dress, and we'll put it on. Okay. Is that new? Never seen you wear that. And we all, now we're telling the truth. Oh, that's not a lie. You just didn't tell them when you bought it. It was sitting in the closet. So you a bit but you were denying spending that money at that particular time. Doing things behind people's back out of shame or afraid they're going to gossip about us, and we end up doing just silly things. And it's not exactly that we want to hide things, it's just that maybe it's a touch not moral. They're not going to like what we have to say, so we kind of brush it up, and we like I did with the makeup, I try to hide the flaws, and we go into that denial, and it could be used in anything. Some spouses get credit cards in their name and never tell the other spouse. Not pointing fingers here. Might be some of you out there. But it's real easy to get a credit card in your name And right away you're thinking, oh, wait, that monthly statement's going to come in the mail. You go to, I'm not suggesting this. I'm telling you from someone I know. You go to the post office and you pay for a P.O. box. And that's the address that you give the credit card company instead of your home address. So that when the mail comes, you never have to worry about your spouse getting the mail first and seeing that statement, because they're going to the P.O. box. And then when the spouse isn't around, you go to the P.O. box and you go get your mail. And I do know somebody that's doing that. And it's not, it's not a relation to me, but it happens. And so that's another denial right there. You're denying the truth to your spouse, and that's part of the denial that we live in. Procrastination is also a form of denial. When we just don't want to do something, and we go, that's when we procrastinate. And so procrastination is a part of the denial. And we can go in denial about our medical conditions. We can have symptoms of our bodies and but no, we're not going to admit that. We're not going to call the doctor and make an appointment because I just absolutely refuse what that doctor is going to tell me. So I'm not going to deal with this right now. Sound familiar? Yeah. Denial of diet. Okay, we all know how, and good salads, and we're supposed to get plenty of grain, and we're supposed to, you know, eat healthy. I can't talk too much on this. I'm a junk eater, but I'm not going to deny that. I do. We can go into denial about a diet, eating properly. Did we take our vitamins today? Did we drink enough water today? Are we drinking too much sugary drinks? Maybe Pepsi or Coke or Mountain Dew or whatever. Did we have too much coffee? And we go to Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks, but I know that there's a way that you could get extra shots of caffeine in your Starbucks. I don't know what they call that. But anyway, are you in denial about energy drinks? I'll give you a good example. My youngest son, after my eldest son passed, because I worked in the hospital and the coroner knew me like a friend. Of course, because Matthew was only 35 years old when he died, it's mandatory for an autopsy when it's a sudden death. Maybe not today, but today's a different situation. An autopsy on my son. And I was then called by the coroner, and he had informed me, your son died. 2 of his arteries were 60+% blocked, and your main was 90% blocked. That's why your son died from this heart attack. With that kind of blockage, he really didn't even stand a chance. Now, we never knew, he never knew. I told you in a previous video, he suffered from, he'd get bronchitis. Change of weather, he'd get bronchitis. Shortness of breath was a new symptom to him. So when he was getting shortness of breath, he'd tap his chest. Oh, I think I smoked too much today. Oh, it's my bronchitis. Denial of symptoms. Didn't I just mention that a little bit ago? Okay. Nobody ever realized. He never went for a heart checkup. Never. Why would a 35-year-old guy go for? But in any case, the coroner said, Joan, you have two other sons. I said, yeah. He says, with the amount of blockage that was in Matt's heart, get your other two sons to a cardiologist immediately and demand that they get tested for cardiovascular, because I have never in my life seen a 35-year-old man with that severe of blockage in his heart. Essentially, he had the heart of somebody in their 70s, 80s. And so, of course, I had a extremely serious talk with my two other sons. My youngest son, being that he was very early 20s and hitting up the energy drinks. They're bottles of water. He's just hitting up these energy drinks. And I told him, those aren't healthy for you. So when he made the appointment with my cardiologist, I pre-warned Mike about the energy drinks. I knew that. I'm not stupid. So me knowing the cardiologist the way I do, I gave him a heads up on these energy drinks that this young man was consuming. So, and my doctor did extensive testing on him. And, EKG, stress test, the whole 9 yards. And he mentioned to my son, drink. And it was like, oh, Mountain Dew and blah, blah, blah. He did not mention the energy drinks. Well, my doctor kicked right in there. And he's like, do you drink energy drinks? And he said, oh, once in a while, right now, you better knock it off. With your family history, you're going to agitate your heart arteries. And not only that, but with the amount of energy load, and it will be an immediate death. Don't need to tell you that was the end of the energy drinks. But that is the denial of diet. To go to the denial of medication. Okay, we go to the doctor. Our doctor picks up on something. Sure. And it's not something we want to hear, right? And the doctor's like, I'm going to write you a prescription. And, oh, I just got a message. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Ah, there we go. It went away. So we're told, for example, we have high blood pressure. We don't want to deal with pills, okay? So our doctor gives us the prescription. We go home, throw the prescription on your desk or bury it in your purse and your life. Or you're older, our bodies don't absorb vitamin D from the sun the way it should, or vitamin B12. I'm sorry, vitamin B12. We have to use supplements as seniors. But we don't want to admit we're seniors. I do, because you get some pretty from low vitamin B12. So we really shouldn't deny ourselves when we're told denial. But do ask, what are the side effects of this medication that you want to be on? And have an extensive talk with your doctor. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ever, never. Because you might not like the answers. And then there's the denial of our bodies. That's mine. This in denial that our BMI is a little more than it should be, or we're feeling symptoms here and there. We got some aches that we shouldn't be aching. We make a lot of excuses because that's a reality that we don't want to face, which turns into what? A denial. So with our bodies and with medications, let's take a look at how that applies in today's times. Be careful here now with this. Our doctors are suggesting a medicine, and I'm very awake. Nobody touches me without my approval. When you work in any case, it makes you really research a lot, and I do. And throughout this whole period, I've been doing my research. As soon as the term was announced, I'm researching. I'm here to tell you, all my siblings were the first in line. Did they research? Nope. Did they ask questions? Nope. Did I try to talk to them? In 2 cases, yes, it was already too late, because before I got to me, oh, I'm the first batch and blah, blah, blah. And, oh. And then health started to deteriorate. Did they put 2 and 2 together? Because I could go on certain websites and I can make the association. And I know it. Will I call them and tell them? Oh, absolutely not. They already don't talk to me. Seriously, they don't talk to me because and called me every day and knew I was doing research. And I opened up about it to her. And the word went around. Nieces, nephews, they all knew where Aunt Joan stood. She's a researcher. I'm not going to say the word. CT, those. So they don't talk to me. But the symptoms are there. The side effects are there. Never will they look at the obvious. Won't make the association. I lost a niece 2 months ago. I won't even ask if that was a possibility. I kind of think it was. But I won't ask. It's disrespectful. It's none of my business. And the mother is in the beginning stages of grief and about grief. It's not my place to say, did that occur? And that's one of the denials of today's life events. And right now, that's a very hot topic. But you have to be very, very careful with how you address that topic. And I probably would more advise you not to start the topic. I'm not telling you to become a liar. I'm not telling, dance around the bushes with things. I just don't want you to make enemies. And this is a topic that is going to make people turn away. And you will lose friends, family. Someone who did lose friends and family over that very topic. And they won't talk to me. They won't talk to me because that's not what their physician is saying. So that's what that is. And with that, we have now covered stage 2 of denial. I'm going to stress again. I can see if I look, that's okay. Everybody can watch the replay. I do very strongly plead with you to share this out. Share the name of my group. If you are going through the loss of a loved one and you need to talk to somebody and you just don't know who to reach out to, you can always contact me through email at grievingwithjoan@gmail.com. I will respond to room all set up to have a private meeting with whomever needs to have a private meeting. Your information Zoom room is 100% confidential between the two of us. It goes no further. And I do respect HIPAA laws, which means your information is safe with me. And I am willing to do that. All you have to do is reach out to gmail.com. You can also go watch me on Telegram because I do copy these over at Telegram. So Tell your friends, tell your family. Watch this crazy woman with the black patches on her face. She's kind of making some sense. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for watching me. I hope I'm doing some good out there because it hurts my heart to see so many people suffering with the amount of people that you talk to is losing somebody. And it's devastating for me to hear it because I've been through the loss of every kind of relative and family member and parents and son. And if you don't have the right person to turn to, your mind is going to eventually just break. And I don't want that. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. And I want you to reach out for me. It's not going to cost you one penny. I am doing this for humanity services. I do not charge the most nastiest thing. I couldn't live with my own conscience if I tried to charge somebody for listening and suffering. What a horrible way to take advantage of somebody who's hurting. You will never hear me ask for a donation. I will not. I refuse. Nor a gift, nor anything else. We're talking. Now, do you pay to talk to a friend? No, you don't. I am your friend. You don't pay me to have a conversation. I'm going to wish you a very happy Tuesday. God bless you all. Thank you for your time. And please join me tomorrow because we're going to be covering stage 3. See you later.